The Jesuits were founded by St. Ignatius Loyola in 1540 in Spain. Being scholars and missionaries, they hugely influenced the development and the global expansion of the Catholic Church. Queen Elizabeth I of England martyred them. Even the Pope suppressed them in 1773. So I'm surprised that they flourished at the time of my guidebook in largely Methodist Wales. North of the town overlooking the beach is a holiday home with a difference. For Jesuits, the largest male religious order in the Roman Catholic Church. For its trainees, it offered a break from study and a chance to relax. Brother Ken Vance is showing me around. My goodness, Ken, you certainly have a fantastic view here.
Oh, it's stunning, isn't it?
Isn't that absolutely amazing?
Uh-huh.
So this is a Jesuit house. I think of Wales as a non-conformist country, a Methodist place. What are the Jesuits doing here?
Well, Michael, Jesuits have been coming here since Elizabethan times, believe it or not. We opened our seminary in 1848, just inland from Rhyl. The men were training there, and they had to come on holiday at some point, otherwise they go mad.
Aber House in the centre of Barmouth was the Jesuits' first holiday home. But as their numbers grew, they leased this larger property and bought it in 1930. So these were men training for the priesthood?
Priesthood and some brothers as well.
And this was their holiday place?
It's known as the Jesuits' Villa. This was their break. They do philosophy or theology, and to quite a high standard. So they'd need space to get away from it all.
Was there a big emphasis on sporting activity?
Oh, yes, very much so. We used to erect a large marquee on the beach, and they'd march down with their collars on and come out with their swimming trunks on. There was always a cricket match in Dalgethley up the road, and the guys would put a scarf around their necks, not to intimidate the opposition. Along with their long missionary tradition, Jesuits earned a reputation as the educators and intellectuals of the church. We have a hall of residence in Oxford, Campion Hall. Quite a famous number of Jesuits came here who quite high up in the world of philosophy and theology. Anyone that I, a layman, might have heard of? Well, the most famous person to stay here was Manley Hopkins, the poet. And Hopkins studied at St Binos in North Wales and came here on holiday. One of the great Victorian poets, Gerard Manley Hopkins converted to Catholicism and was ordained a Jesuit priest in 1877. The men used to hire a boat and go up the Mouth estuary to the George Inn. And when Hopkins got there one year, he wrote a poem in the guest book, Penmaenpool. Any anthology of Hopkins' poem, you'll find Penmaenpool in that. Today, the Jesuits run parishes and high schools around Britain, and students like Christopher Brolly and Richard Webster still enjoy a break here. They're taking me to the George at Penmaenpool, where the poet and future priest once composed his verse.
Cheers.
Cheers. So actually, the Jesuit life is quite a tough one.
And we are vowed to a life of poverty, chastity and obedience, which is perhaps something that a lot of people in the modern world find a very strange thing to commit yourself to.
So, with the life you lead, I reckon you deserve a holiday every now and again.
We get some time away together, build our friendships, whether it's go for a hike in the hills or cycle along one of the old railway lines around the area.
Which is what we're on here.
Yeah.
You've got the signal box over there.
For me, it's always been a wonderful time. For the last couple of years, we've come here to the George. There's a table of 10 or 15 of us or whatever.
And we're in the wake of Gerard Manley Hopkins.
Yeah, he would have come up here in the boat with his fellow scholastics, and they would have had a pint, which, in the words of Hopkins, like goldy foam at Frocks and Oar at Penmaenpool.
Oof. Well, cheers to that.
Cheers.
The castles in